A journey from an upper division clerk in Calcutta to Bharat Ratna seems a reality only in cinematic universe. But no, one man spread his wings and turned his dreams into reality. A virtual Congress Supremo held on to several key cabinet portfolios and eventually ending up as the first citizen of India. Yes, I am talking about the 13th President of India, Pranab Mukherjee. Hello, hi, namaste, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Unabridged GK and Reviews. Pranab Mukherjee was born into a Bengali family. His father, Kamada Mukherjee, was active in the Indian independence movement and a representative of Indian National Congress. He earned an MA degree in political science and history and LLB degree both from University of Calcutta. He was an upper division clerk in the office of Deputy Accountant General. In 1963, he became an assistant professor of political science and he also worked as a journalist with Desha Dhak. Mukherjee started his political career as a founding member of Bangla Congress. The then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi nominated him to Rajya Sabha in 1969 when he was only 34. Of all the things that goes into his head, only the smoke comes out, she said about Mukherjee, because his ability to keep secrets was one of the reasons that caught her eye. He became Gandhi's most trusted lieutenant and a minister in her cabinet. But later, Mukherjee was sidelined from Congress during the tenure of Rajiv Gandhi. He formed his own party, the Rashtriya Samajwadi Congress, which later merged with Congress in 1989. After the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao made him Planning Commission Deputy Chairman and eventually External Affairs Minister in 1995. He was instrumental in the accession of Sonia Gandhi as party president in 1998. He won his first Lok Sabha election in 2004. Until 2012, he was the number 2 in the Manmohan Singh cabinet. He held several key cabinet portfolios: defense, external affairs and finance. He retired from his active political life following his election as president in 2012. Mr. Mukherjee comfortably defeated P.A. Sangma to become the 13th President of India. "I like long walks," Pranab Mukherjee once said, and the walks continued even after he left office in 2017. He wrote his diary as he had done every day for decades. He was a pipe smoker. He gave up smoking along the way, but by then he had collected 500 pipes. His wife Surwa had passed away in 2015. His son Abhijit Mukherjee was elected as Lok Sabha member once, but his political career did not take off. Another son Indrajit had no public profile. For a man of secular beliefs, he could see religion in a cultural context. Every Durga Puja, he would be in Jagnipur and immerse himself in a 10-day prayer. He tore into BJP's political Hindutva by quoting scriptures to highlight the heterogeneity of thought in Hinduism. Pranab writes in his diary, "Participating in the World War II Victory Day commemorations is an insult to Indian independence movement and particularly to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi." Despite his protest during Narasimha Rao government, the book records how Mukherjee was himself sent to represent India at Victory Day parade. Mr. Mukherjee represented India once again in Moscow in May 2015 at the Victory Day celebrations. Mukherjee was considered the top-ranking Indian cabinet minister and he presided over cabinet meetings in the absence of accidental prime minister. He was the other PM, the real chair of power. High profile and independent minded, his revolts against party wrongdoings made him unsuitable for PM post. Sonia picked Manmohan Singh, the accidental prime minister. Mukherjee could not be home minister either, a post that was too powerful for an intrepid politician. Mukherjee was considered the top-ranking Indian cabinet minister and he presided over cabinet meetings in the absence of accidental prime minister. He was the other PM, the real chair of power. He addressed a gathering of RSS in Nagpur. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat had pleaded with him to address the organization's conclave as president. But he waited until after he left the office. He made a speech to RSS volunteers on nationalism. It was an endorsement of Hindutva nationalism and a critic of it at once. One could take what one wants. A man beyond party lines. His ability and willingness to offer counsel to others extended to non-Congress leaders, including Narendra Modi when the latter was the Gujarat Chief Minister and after he became the Prime Minister too. Congress leaders have not been treated kindly by Mr. Modi, but Pranab Da was an exception. Mr. Modi remained a regular visitor of Mr. Mukherjee. It was because Mukherjee worked across the communal, secular, socialist, capitalist and corporate aisles and formed part of a group that did not have enemies but only rivals in politics. Pranab Mukherjee is the only president to have headed the three big ministries of finance, external affairs and defense before assuming the highest office. In 2018, the Modi government announced Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian honor of the country. He was not just a politician. He earned respect for his encyclopedic knowledge of history and the constitution. In 2010, Mukherjee was awarded Finance Minister of the Year for Asia by Emerging Markets. Banker also recognized him as Finance Minister of the Year. According to survey of Euromoney magazine 1984, he was best finance minister in the world. The end of the legend. During the COVID-19 pandemic, on 10th August, Mukherjee announced on Twitter that he had tested positive for COVID-19 prior to his surgery to remove blood clot in his brain. He was admitted to the hospital after accidentally slipping and falling in his bathroom. He was on ventilator support and in critical condition at Army Research Hospital in Delhi. On 13th August, the hospital reported that Mukherjee was in a deep coma and he underwent brain surgery. He passed away on 31st August 2020, aged 84. As a mark of respect, Modi government announced 7-day state mourning between 31st August to 6th September, whereby the national flag will fly at half-mast on all the buildings wherever it is flown regularly. This will wrap up for this episode on Unabridged, GK and reviews. For more interesting content, stay tuned.